Jason, or Jason and Friends, and I thought today we'd do a little bit of catfishing here at Mudwater River in Missouri. So we're going to get started. If there are any other players in here, then we're going to switch to a private room. Mostly because I don't have their permission to record them. And it's also easier for us to fish for some of the larger catfish if we're not surrounded by people. That's not a knock on anybody. That's just fact. Well, looks like it's pretty quiet so far. So get our gear out. In this particular spot, I like to bottom fish, and I'm using large cut bait because I'm trying to target some of the larger catfish in this area. They're mostly bullheads, which is a type of catfish, a smaller type of catfish. And I'm sorry, our brain just went completely blank. Oh, there's another player over there, but it's perfectly fine, I think. As long as we don't have people like right next to us, then it shouldn't be an issue. But as soon as I say that, somebody will pop in, I bet. Oh, what I was gonna say, because I am coming back to this location, is channel catfish. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, they could get pretty sizable, 8 to 12 pounds for some of the larger ones. Now, these aren't the giant catfish like, say, the Welsh catfish in Europe. Those guys can go... I've seen them in game. Haven't caught any that large, but I've seen them 200 pounds plus. It's just absolutely gigantic fish. Absolutely gigantic. I like catfishing because you can throw your bottom rods out. I can hang out and talk with you guys. Just kind of take it nice and easy. Yeah, one of the pardon me. When one of the bells goes off, grab the rod and see what we caught. I'm also trying to take up some time. I can do a little bit of float fishing for catfish as well. This works pretty well if you're using shiners, or if your rod and setup is heavy enough, you can use large cut bait, and that tends to attract some of the more larger, more predatory catfishes. I've got some activity already. That's cool. You can see the bobbers running back and forth. There we go. Yeah, the bobber runs back and forth and then stops. You know you got a fish. There we go. Almost 10 pounds. Trophy channel catfish right out of the gate. Less than 5 minutes into the stream. I'd say that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's pitch it right out there. Also, putting it right on top of any kind of swells on top of the water will usually get you hope you'll pardon me. I'm still getting used to being awake in the morning. So yeah, usually, man, he's running all over the damn place. Yeah, catfish must be after him. Yeah, he's doing his dance, so that's a good sign. There we go. Got another one. Another one of decent size. All right, 7 pounds. Usually 7 pounders realistically might be too large to eat in real life. The larger ones, from what I've been told by, pardon me, people that actually fish for them for food, usually for barbecues and stuff, say that the larger ones can taste a little bit muddy because they do like to live on the bottom and in the mud. Man, that can affect their flavor quite a bit. So it's good to pick ones that are of legal size, but not too large, because they eat all sorts of stuff. I mean, their diets are very similar to like lobsters in that. Pardon me, cannot stop yawning. Yeah, they'll eat. I'd say just about anything that floats by or that happens to be on the bottom. That does not mean they'll eat trees. They will on occasion eat bark and lures made from bark. But nobody stole my bait, but I'm going to reel it in because I think I might have cast out too far. A bunch of movement here, so let's see if we get ourselves another one. That bobber's moving around a bunch. It's not just floating around. He's swimming pretty erratically down there. So he's probably gonna catfish right on his tail. Yeah. That's a pretty good sign, I bet. Also a little bit stuffy right now because of the springtime pollen and everything. Just, ugh. Allergies this year are pretty awful. Not as bad as they usually are, but come on then. Haven't heard any rings from our bottom rods, but that's okay. That's what bottom rods are good at doing. They're good at just sitting and waiting for hungry fish to do their business. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Let me mute my phone here. Should have muted it before I started recording, but me being the silly dingbat that I am, I always forget that step. And you poor folks have to suffer listening to that thing ding the whole damn time. Come on, I know you're after it. Just commit already. Nope. It looks like some of these catfish might be a little afraid of commitment. That's alright. I'm gonna do We're going to swap our bait out. You can see all the different catfish that I've caught during this trip. It's a double segmented trip because I had to go do something. I think it was go to work or some other some other thing, and so I had to actively like back out of the entire game. Usually, when you back out of this game, um, if you're still actively fishing, it'll pull your gear up, but it'll leave you in that location, which is rather useful if you're partial to a particular fishing area. Yeah, let's see if the leeches have any luck. As I've said in previous streams and videos, leeches are disgusting, but catfish seem to love them, so I think it's less the fact that leeches suck blood and more just their constant wriggling movements are just creepy. Well, but that's usually why the fishermen call them creepy crawlies, and that could be a bunch of different things from little newts and lizards, tadpoles, leeches, and anything that moves around a bunch. It's usually considered a creepy crawly and is usually a preferred bait of bass fishermen and some catfishermen as well. I think we're going to do I'm going to throw out our spoon, maybe hook up with a bass or two while we're waiting here. It rolled on but didn't commit to it. Come on, quit playing with it. Fish wants it, just not going for it fully. When it does, you'll know it, because I'll stick the rod straight up in the air and set the hook. No, that fish didn't want any of what we were offering. It's too bad. It's probably a decent sized fish by the way it was trying for it. Yeah, straight and slow is my preferred retrieval method. Always has been. Unless I'm using jigs, and I like to do. I like to use twitching because that gives you the maximum attraction chance, but against bass, it's almost guaranteed that you'll get a bite. I say almost because there's always an RNG chance that you won't, but well, let's swap it over right quick to a bass jig. No, there's bass in here. I've caught plenty of them. Just it was an attempt at it. Not sure by what though. Probably a bass. Bass in this place aren't too large. They'll go a couple of pounds tops. They put up a pretty good fight though. I think we're going to reposition our bottom rods because absolutely nothing is going on with them right now. And that's not exactly the end result I want out of them. We're going to go... Yeah, it says terminal tackle is too light. That's fine. It's only an issue if you're trying to cast a max distance. Right over here by this green marker tends to be a really good spot for little black bullhead catfish. I like to get some more of the larger ones, but there's no guarantee that I'm going to. So I'm gonna set my baits out that way a bit more. This setup is also optimum, regardless of what rod size you're using for Emerald Lake. If you're going after walleye, mostly for the money, you're not going to get a lot of experience because the lines and the rods are really heavy. For fish that size and for that location. But if you're just trying to get a couple grand in-game fish bucks together, that's really the way to do it. Unless you have the money already on hand, then go to Blue Crab Island and specifically target drum and tarpon. Because those things per fish pay out, 3 or 4 times what a good sized bass will pay. You can also get paid pretty good if you're going to like the Everglades and targeting bass specifically. Then you can do okay there. But you want to be using, if you're doing top water fishing, you want to use shiners for bass, and jigs and spoons if you're using lures. That was a hit, but it wasn't a commit, so... Come on. Figures. Okay, there's the committal from fish on this side. That's a decent sized one too. All right, call it 8 1/4 pounds. And we have catfish on one of these. It's the right one over here. And the little bastard timed out. I hate when they do that. But I was right in the middle of dealing with that 8-pounder, so I'd say it's fine, because any of the fish over on this side are usually not going to be that large. You know, mostly just catfishing for the fun of it. Um, Definitely not catfishing for the profit, that's for sure. They're cute and they're neat to look at and stuff, but they're not usually based on size. They're not particularly profitable. All right. Yeah, I'm using my Brutus rod because that's kind of my go-to top water. Even at Blue Crab Island, I still use this thing. It's a little bit light for that locale, but I've gotten some decent permit with this rod, and usually I'll use the maximum weight line I can. I've been hit already, so come on. Yeah, there he goes. There he goes. All right. Yeah, there we go. Trophy bullhead, 3.3 pounds. So that's a good size bullhead, and that's about the prime weight you want in real life for somebody that likes to eat catfish. That is actually the optimum size for cooking them. A couple different ways you can do it. You can throw them on the barbecue. They barbecue it pretty good. Always make sure to remove the head and entrails and stuff like that before you cook them. Never cook a fish with the innards still inside. Got hit, but no follow up yet. Yep, like I said, the leeches are magic for these little guys. Yeah, leeches are like little peanut butter cups for these guys. They just can't help themselves. Only difference is usually peanut butter cups don't wriggle around when you try to bite them. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm laughing. I just got an image in my head of a peanut butter cup crawling across the table. Yeah. Guess that's just me. I'm a very visual person, so my brain will assemble things so I can see the joke. I can visualize it. Mm. Now, one thing I wanted to mention today, folks, it's especially up here in the Northeast, it's not as hot as it was yesterday, nor as hot as the day before. But please make sure that you are getting plenty of rest and making sure that you hydrate. You know, the sun can cause you a lot of problems if you do not hydrate enough. I'd almost bet that this is one baby catfish that keeps doing donuts around the bait and biting it every once in a while. If it's a larger one, then it's being awfully lazy. Yeah, this area in Missouri is actually really nice. It's one of the beginner areas of the game, but it produces quite a bit of fish. That's why people come back to it time and time again. Yeah, whatever this is, just keeps playing with it. It's not even. Here we go. Here we go. All right, there we go. It turned out to be a big one. It was just just messing with it. It's like, come on, bite the bait, you chunky catfish. The catfish of chunk. Thing looks a lot like the catfish stuffy I have upstairs. Except mine's a flathead catfish instead of a one of these ones like a bullhead or something. No, channel cat maybe. Keeps going after it, so he seems pretty fairly serious about it. Come on, come on. Yeah, fishing for these guys, you got to be patient. It's not like eliciting a strike from a bass or something. You know, with these guys, you have to wait until they take the bobber down. Otherwise, the game will say that you struck too soon and you lose your bait. Sorry if I'm being extra quiet. I just kind of zoned out for a minute there. This fish is starting to get on my nerves a little bit. Come on, you rotten bastard. Take the bait. There we go. About time. Good gracious. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's more like it. He just kept pecking at it, pecking at it. It's like, take the bait, you yumpy bastard. Well, sure enough, he did, but good gracious, it took him a while to commit. It was worth it, though. 12-pound channel catfish. That's a good. Oh, here we go. That's a good sized channel cat. Yeah, if the bobber, like if we're using shiners, the bobber's running all around and then it simply just stops, you're gonna get hit. It's pretty much guaranteed that your bobber's gonna get yanked down pretty hard. So get ready for that. I think we're gonna catch one more fish. It's gonna be a short little broadcast. Nothing too long. I don't want to keep you guys all day. I'm sure you've got more important things to do than watch us play fishing games. So, yep. I'll promise you one more fish, and then we're gonna go. Sorry if there's been a noise in the background. I think my father and my dog Odin have just returned home from taking pictures. Dad's in his spare time, he's a wildlife photographer, so he takes bird pictures and stuff. And this will be the that'll be our catfish right there, just ringing the bell, trying to agitate the hell out of us. Come on, you. Bet it's probably going to be another good sized one because he's down there doing circles and giving it a nip once in a while. Yeah, that or there's a catfish ball down there, and every once in a while somebody pops up to take a bite, but yeah, make it sound official. These catfish are non-committal. Sometimes just twitching it like that a little bit will cause them to freak out and just absolutely destroy the bait and pull the bobber down. Yeah, and there was a little bait fish jump over there, so we'll give this another 30 seconds and then we're going to try recasting it. Well, we get a bite, but hi honey. Hi my honey. Yeah, that catfish is still playing with it. doesn't wanna go for it. Maybe he does. Um,
Okay,
I'm gonna give up on this one because that's a guaranteed catfish right there. Yeah, he's on this line. Just gonna get him before he gets away. Yeah, it's not gonna be a big one, but it is gonna be the last catfish of the day. Yeah, and yeah, it's gonna be a little baby bullhead. About call it a pound and a half. Yeah, and that's been it for our catfish adventure for today. I do hope you guys have enjoyed this. If you have, please make sure you subscribe because we will be broadcasting some more in the near future. Thank you guys very, very much for watching, and as always, this has been Jason of Jason and Friends. You guys take it easy.